What's up, gang? Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grind. Get ready. It's a new day, and I make $7 an hour, minimum wage, less than minimum wage. You ever have that go through your mind? Like for the people that are building a business, people that are building something great, building something special, even if it's not money related, even if it's just basketball, football, or sports, you just don't get the immediate return for the time that you're putting in. At times when you're building a business, the work that you're putting in doesn't always equate to what you're going to get out. Most of the time, it takes years to build a business or a skill set and a lot of work. It could be discouraging. It's like having a baby. Having a business is like having a baby. No sleep, long nights, early mornings, and a lot of shit that you got to clean up, so on and so forth. But when your baby grows up, it comes with a lot of perks. This is when you see people that blow up and grow up and they got a great business rocking, and it just looks like, man, he or she, they made it. They ain't working that much. They had a bunch of money. They got a bunch of vacations, a second home, a nice house, great schools, etc., etc. This is life. Basketball, football, sports, it's a game of inches. You got to put in overtime. You got to put in all the work up front in order to get it down the road. But you got to be encouraged when you're putting the work in up front, because when you add it up and you put in the work, you might be working 70, 80, 90, 100-hour weeks. And when you add up the math from what you put back into your business, you're like, man, I'm making $10 an hour. I'm making $7 an hour. That's how you build something great. Everybody's been through that type of process. If you want it faster, put in more hours. It's just that simple. When I watch people progress quickly in my chosen sport and in art to focus on outside of work in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, when I look at people that progress quickly, what is it? They're 7 days a week, 6 days a week, 2-3 times a day. And so, yeah, you can get what it took somebody 10 years in 3 or 4 years if you're willing to put in more work. That's how life is. And so you got to encourage yourself in the process and understand that $7 an hour turns into $70 an hour, or $700 an hour, or $7,000 an hour down the road when you get all of it coming back that you put into it up front. Understand that comparison is the thief of joy. Sometimes you can discourage yourself when you start to look around you too much and not on your vision of where you're going. It's not fair to compare you building something up and somebody else that just has a clock in, clock out job. It's just not fair. And don't discourage yourself about who's further along or who got to where first or how old you got it or how. I never one time when I heard about LeBron James coming out of high school, who I had the pleasure and privilege to play against in football as a senior when he was a sophomore, not one time did I ever hear, you know what? You know the reason why LeBron's a beast is because he walked first as a child. He took his first steps as a baby faster than everybody in Akron, everybody in the United States of America, and that's why he's dunking basketballs. Nobody worries about who takes the first step fastest. No, it doesn't matter about if your business blew up a little bit later than somebody else's or you got it a little bit later than somebody else's. Some of the people that I know that have gone the furthest, they didn't get stuff popping until later. One of my good friends and neighbors got an unbelievable technology business. He started his business at 33 years old. Things didn't pop off until he was close to 40. And so you got to understand, you got to take what you're doing, but you got to look to the future. You got to look long term. You got to use mentors in order to limit mistakes. You got to be able to encourage yourself with other people's stories. This is one of my favorite things to do as an entrepreneur is read up on Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, Sam Walton, founder of Walmart, all these people that have built great businesses, because it reminds me that I'm not the only one that had to go through stuff. All these folks had to overcome stuff. All these folks had to put in a bunch of grind and work up front and stay positive. And that's my next note. Stay positive. You can't build a great life with negative words, negative mindset. How do you expect to build a positive life with negativity? You can only build a positive life with positivity. Next thing that I advise you to do is keep your expenses low. When you're building a business, keep your expenses low so you can reinvest back into your business. I learned this as a young lad. You gotta keep your expenses low so you can just keep on flipping the money. You got to keep on reinvesting back into yourself. And then the next thing you got to do is just focus on serving others. When you're in the process, sometimes you start to look at yourself. What do I got? What's in it for me? How's everything going for me? And that's normal. We're human. But I challenge you to look at how can you better serve others, serve people. The more you serve, the more you'll get. And then when you finish the process, when you've gone through it, when you've grown through it, when you got what you hoped and dreamed for, don't forget to go back and mentor others when you're done. Don't forget to give back when you got it. You know, some of the people that I'm around that inspire me the most are the biggest givers. I want to make a lot so I can give a lot. One of my goals, dreams, and visions for the future is just to walk around and give to people. Walk around like every day is Christmas, every month is Christmas, just giving to others what's been given to me. And so when you make it, don't forget to mentor others. Don't forget to give of your money and of your time. And don't forget to keep on grinding. Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grind. Get ready. It's a new day.